Hi again, everybody. Bill Phillips here on a Monday. Shark or Gator? That's the question of the day. We'll explain what that's all about coming up in mere moments. Producer extraordinaire Jordan has the day off today, so hopefully she got a beautiful day off. I mean, it is fabulous outside, so hopefully she's taking advantage of that. But we are taking advantage of Amanda Barrier because she is here today, and she had no idea she was going to be a part of the show.
No,
it's a little bit earlier when we started a debate out in the studio this morning.
Yep. The debate.
Shark or Gator.
Shark or Gator.
That's what the debate was all about. Well, there is no debate, Amanda.
No, I don't think so.
About no. About T-Town, about the Gem City of Toronto, Ohio. Because it's fabulous. It's the Gem City. And B, it has Valley Converting. And Valley Converting, our sponsor for the 9-Minute Phill-Up, Mike Biasi and the crew in Toronto. They will take you if you have paper products. I mean, the tax season's gone.
Go there all the time.
You've got papers that you've had for. You're thinking to yourself, what am I going to do with all these papers?
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with these papers.
I get a lot of cardboard.
Give them a new life.
Yeah.
Recycle.
Give them. Yeah, I bring them right in. I'm like, this is perfect.
It's right there. It's right there. You can't miss it. The big bins right out front. Throw them in there. They'll take care of their paper products.
Perfect.
And it is awesome.
Every piece of paper has a story. What if that story didn't end when you were done with it?
At Valley Converting, we turn your old paper products into recycled paperboard, continuing the story.
Locally owned and operated in Toronto, Ohio, bringing your paper to Valley Converting isn't just about recycling.
It's about supporting a cleaner, greener future for all of us.
We are here 5 days a week to help you make some green by going green.
And remember,
recycle for your future.
Thank you to Mike Biasi and the crew in Toronto, Ohio at Valley Converting. T-Town, the Gem City. They have great pizza. There's always a debate. There's a couple pizza places up there. Everyone's in a big debate. I'm not going to get involved in it. Don't want to cast any influence anyone either way at this point. Maybe later. You never know. Do you have a favorite in the Gem City for your pizza?
I can't get into this debate. I'm from New Jersey, Bill.
Oh, yeah. We're on the same wavelength right there. Yeah, it's a whole different thing. That's a whole different animal.
That's like apples and oranges.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Yeah, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah, we'll leave that as that.
Okay, so we'll leave that alone, but we won't leave this alone. We've got comments. Tyson Chicken Nugget checking in, saying hello this morning. So Tyson Chicken Nugget, hello. Hopefully you're having a great day. Hopefully you haven't answered this question. This is how, you know what? I think, there's too much headroom for me, isn't it? Let's see if we can fix that. Oh, I like that. All right, a little bit better. There we go. All right. Oh, man, it's a little too low because you see the top of the chair. Oh, the top of the chair's been there all along. So we'll just leave it alone. Okay, so Amanda and I got into a little bit of a debate in the studio this morning. We were talking. Well, I can't remember how it came up.
I don't know.
I was gonna talk about the alligators down in New Orleans at the golf tournament this weekend. So the Zurich Classic down in New Orleans. It's a team event, PGA Tour. Two guys that have never won on the tour, they teamed up and won for the first time ever. So that's cool.
Wow,
that's cool. So, but the one thing that I noticed was as you're going now, I watched Swamp People, you know, the alligator hunters and all that. So I've watched that for years. You loved it. Loved that show. Could watch it now. But like we were saying, it's one of those shows. It's kind of like, okay, they're going to go shoot some gators. They're going to bring them back and see how, so it's kind of like,
it's a comfort show.
Yeah, it's just one of those ones you just kind of, okay, I like the show and everything. And then you like the characters when you find out more about the characters and everything. Troy, he was the big star of the show. Mary checking in with neither, LOL. Well, that's a good call. That is a good call.
Pick one, though.
But is not one of the eligible answers, Mary. So we'll explain why. So basically, I'm watching the golf tournament and they're saying, well, here we are in the 18th hole. In the 18th hole, I think it's about 450, 475, whatever it is, however many yards. And there's water on the right-hand side of the hole. So you're walking up the fairway. There's the bleachers and the stands over here. Everyone's, oh, yeah, great. Everything's good. Well, they have a drone shot going down the other side of the hole near the water. And there's a big bunker between the fairway of the course and then the water. There's a little ledge of grass where there might have been some guests. Let's call them guests. Some guests that were just sunning themselves. Prehistoric guests.
Taken in the day.
Known as alligators. Now, we talked about crocodiles too, because they're supposed to be even meaner than gators.
Yeah.
But so, you think, okay, there's one. Okay, there's 2. No, there was like a dozen gators lined up down this stretch of the tournament, and people are just going about their business like nothing's going on. So that started a little bit of a debate. You know, I don't know if I said it or you said it or Olivia said it, but it was kind of like, well, would you rather be in the ocean? And you immediately said, I'll be in the ocean with the shark.
Yes, 100%.
And I said, well, I don't know. And then I went, no, I think I'd be in the ocean with Amanda on that one. And Olivia was like, oh, I'm thinking the gator. I went, oh, no.
Olivia was hard on the gator.
Oh, I told the story about the ladies that were fishing on the University of Miami campus.
Yes.
And there's this little lake, and you think it's a freshwater lake. It's probably more brackish than anything. And there's, you know, the international waterway runs around down there and everything. So there's a big grate where the water comes in for this lake. But the grate is big enough, and the slots in it are big enough where little marine creatures can get through. So, I mean, there's huge carp that swim. I mean, as big as put my arms out as far apart as and they're bigger than that. And you're just walking along, and they just cruise by. And they turn their body, and the sun hits them, and you get the sparkles and everything. It's kind of cool. And then one night I said to my roommate, I said, I bet you could swim across the lake. I should swim across the lake. And it's dark out and the whole thing. And he's going, you jump in that lake, you're an idiot. Well, what's the big deal? I can swim across it. I know I can swim across. He goes, there could be gators in there. I said, there's no gators in there. There's no. I'm telling you, don't do it. So sure enough, a few weeks go by. The ladies are fishing. They would come to the campus. They fish near the student union. These big bamboo poles, and they lay them in the water. Well, there were ducks on them, and this one duck disappeared. Well, apparently the ladies saw them because I had walked past them, and I got about 100 yards away, and I heard the screaming. I'm like, what's going on? So I turned around, and they were yelling, Gator, 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 and they ran out into the parking lot.
Yep.
So, and then they had to have the game warden come in. It took about 3 days before I don't know if it was one gator or how many gators, but they got the gators out.
Found
allegedly.
many gators.
Yeah. So they had to do that. But so the thing is, I was saying, if you're basically south of the Mason-Dixon line, when it gets to summertime, so you get, Virginia, even you go down, go through all the southern states. Mm-hmm. You don't know what you're jumping in the water with.
No, you do not.
Now, if you're in Jersey, like our girl Amanda Very right here, meteorologist extraordinaire, I'm going to the ocean.
Yep.
So,
I go in the ocean or the pool. Nothing else.
Nothing else.
No rivers, no streams, no lakes, no ponds.
Really?
No. River monsters, lakes freak me out.
Really?
Yeah. No ponds. What even is that? And rivers? No.
Why do lakes freak you out?
Just usually the color of the lake. I can't see what's going on. Yeah. You don't know what's in there.
Well, you can't really see what's going on in the ocean either.
Yeah, but at least I know what's sort of in the ocean. Mm-hmm. You know the sea creatures.
What's sort of in the ocean?
Yes, you know what's around you for the most part. Yeah. Maybe you can't see them in lakes. Uh-huh. There could be anything in there.
I will say this. It was in can't remember the company's name, where the apartments that I lived in growing up, great apartments to live in, because right on the side of us, there was a stone and gravel company. So they had dug up this one big, lake, and it was fabulous in the wintertime. Freeze over. Yep. Except it kind of scared you at night because you'd hear boop, boop, boop. Yeah. And it was just the air pockets in the ice and everything. But it was fun. So we play hockey on it, the whole thing. There was a pond over at the other apartments, pond next to us. And then there was the town lake. Mm-hmm. Winding trails, which had, could skate on it, the whole thing. And I remember we would swim across it in the summertime as part of, my dad was like, I swam in high school and everything. He's like, let's just go for a swim across the lake and back. That'll be our workout for today. Well, I did that one day, and I'm swimming along, and I look down, and all of a sudden I'm seeing the top of these trees, like pine trees.
No.
That freaked me out. I was like, what is that?
Yes.
I knew there was bass and fish in there, but it was kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
So no, I get where you're coming from with the lakes and stuff.
There's just freaky things in there sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely. So Brian checks in. You happy with the Steelers draft? Brian cuts right to the chase. You don't want to hear about sharks and gators. Brian, no. I need an answer from you though. Shark or gator? Or would you rather swim in the ocean with the sharks, or would you rather swim with the gators, maybe in a pond, a lake, a little river, a little stream, a golf course?
Yeah, you
whatever
versus
the case
one of
may
them
be. You
in the water.
Was I happy with the Steelers draft? Derek Harmon, defensive tackle. He needed help there. Running back, needed help at running back. He was the 3rd-round pick. Caleb Johnson out of Iowa. Jack Sawyer, interesting pick at number 4, linebacker, Ohio State. Great national championship run, solid players. Steelers are excited about him. Yaya Black, I think that's how you say his name, out of Iowa, defensive tackle. They bolstered the defensive line. Will Howard, everyone was wondering who the quarterback was going to be. You have Mason Rudolph. Now maybe Will Howard's the quarterback of the future, depending on how he develops. And then 2 7th-round picks, Bruner and Kent, linebacker and cornerback. Of course, Carson Bruner, the son of one of the Steelers' best tight ends ever, out of Washington, and Dante Kett out of Central Michigan. So all in all, yeah, I think they addressed a lot of their needs. We won't really know how good the draft is for a couple of years, and that's kind of an easy out. But overall, I would say, yeah, okay. I mean, I like Will Howard. I do not want to see his mom anymore. And Amanda's like, what are you talking about?
I have no idea.
Here's the deal. National championship game, semifinal games of the playoffs. The only parent, apparently, on the Ohio State roster was the quarterback's mom. I mean, please, can we show somebody else? Now, he throws a 25-yard pass. They catch the ball. Whoever the receiver is for, one of the great wide receivers, they run for another 40 yards. Who they show? The mom of the quarterback.
Well,
it's like, no, I get it. I get it. I really do. I really do. The family's there. They're excited. Nothing against Will Howard or his mom or dad or whatever. But they were the only one to show. We were watching that, and I was like, can they show somebody else? There's got to be somebody else to show. Of course, on the footage I saw in one of the reels on Facebook was him finding out his mom standing right there, jumping up and down. What you expect? So nothing against Will Howard's mom. Just please, 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 can we show somebody else? So it's a National Football League. We don't really show the families too much. So yeah, that's the question today. So Tyson, Mary, Brian, you got what do we know about the Shark versus the Gator? John Michael Ward, Ohio Valley concert. Oh, we got a concert coming up Sunday, May 4th. First Westminster Presbyterian Church in Steubenville. Free concert. Please attend. Listen to some incredible music. All right, I may be able to do that. We'll have to wait and see, but I need an answer from everybody. Shark or Gator. So Amanda, you were going with Shark in the Ocean because I guess you already know it's there.
Yes, 100%.
Yeah.
I think I could take on a shark easier. I say easier. It's not going to be easy, but over an alligator or
Have
a
you
crocodile.
seen the first scene in Jaws?
Yes.
And she just kind of gets taken all over the place.
Sharks don't normally attack you.
Uh-huh.
Usually they're mind their own business.
They might be fishing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A gator, on the other hand, is most likely coming after you.
Oh, yeah. They're coming after food.
Yes.
You are food.
Yes. So with a shark,
Tyson says shark.
Yeah, shark. It's a shark. I just don't think there's really a debate there.
Or if you're Chrissy in the first part, shark.
Oh no.
Shark. Oh no, that's not the girl that was eaten at the beginning. No, that was the person on the beach when Jaws goes into the little bay and the kids are in the sailboat.
Yes.
And then she's trying to let everyone know, she's like, shark. And everyone's like, what? And then she finally, and then the guy loses his leg, which is kind of a freak. The leg goes floating down the bottom.
Oh, yeah.
We are really kind of out there on a Monday. John Michael, shark, because Jaws celebrates 50th anniversary, 1975. I did do this.
Ooh.
I did do this. If you have a chance to see a classic movie that you haven't seen on the big screen and it comes out for a few days, Jaws did that maybe it was for the 40th anniversary.
Yeah, it was fairly recent.
It was pretty recent. But a neighbor of mine, Coach Swizz, down the road, and his kids went with me and Ian. I don't think Isabella went, but we went to see Jaws on the big screen. I'd never seen it on the big screen.
Yeah, no, me either.
Awesome.
Classic.
Great movie. I mean, they could do all the lines and everything, and it's just, this was no shark attack. Or no, this was no boating accident. This was a shark attack. So anyway, so I agree with you because I think shark, because A, it's in the ocean. B, yes. If you go into, you don't know. And I remember Bruce and Paul, or as we like to call him, Pablo, my roommates in Miami, were from Miami.
Mm-hmm.
One of the first things we talked about, he goes, they were both like, don't ever go in any waterways that you don't know what it is. Just don't do it. Like in the international, don't fall in. They had a friend of theirs that was attacked in the international waterway. He was like either water skiing or fell off the boat or was swimming, kind of messing around. Next thing you know, he's in trouble. So, yeah. And even then, if you have a pool in the South, look in it. All right, there's a little gator.
Even if you have like one of those canopy things to keep things out,
you gotta
they get in there.
Yep.
They want to get in there.
Now, of course, every time I'm at the beach, I try and turn myself into a seal out in the ocean because my grandfather, Charlie Kramer, he would love to go out. I just thought it was the coolest thing. He would go out and he would float.
Yeah.
He'd go out maybe 100 yards or so, or whatever it was, away from everybody and just float in the ocean, and be out there forever. It was like, is Grandpa coming back in? I'm 8, 9, 7, 8, 9, whatever. Mom's, oh yeah, he just loves doing that. So now that's what I do. I'll go out there and just float around the whole thing, and I'll like kind of look up, and it's like, oh, okay, I've been out here a little bit while. But and the thing was, let's see, John met Richard Dreyfuss at Steel City Con. He played Hooper and John. Yeah, absolutely. One of the great scenes, he comes over to the Sheriff Brody's house. And it's after they get the body and all the stuff. And he comes over and the sheriff can't eat. And he's like, he gives him a bottle of wine and he just cracks it open, drinks it, just gulps it down. But before that, he says to his little kid, he goes, give us a hug. And the kid goes, why? He goes, because I need it. And it's just one of those scenes where it's just a great scene. But like on Cape Cod, where I would go to the ocean when I was a kid, I'd go out there float. Now, they've become a shark haven now. Yeah. Because back when I was a kid, everyone you never heard about sharks there.
Nope.
Because they didn't have any food. Well, they did a big conservation thing where they wanted to bring the sea lions back or the seals back or whatever. It's been very successful. Yeah. So now if you go up to Cape Cod, you can find beaches where you hear barking of the seals all day long. Yeah. Well, it's like ringing a dinner bell. As Hooper said,
you can't bring one back without the other.
Now there's sharks all over the place. And they talk about, I think it's Big Bertha or something off of Cape Cod. They have shots. I'm like, no, I'm good. Yeah, that's the other thing. I don't have to go into the ocean. No. I can go in, splash around, and 5 feet.
Wait around.
But I was down in North Carolina, and I'm out there with my daughter. She's on my shoulders. She's probably about 10, 11, whatever it was. Wife gets up. Come on, and I'm like, what? And next thing I know, I'm thinking, okay, so we get in. Turn back around, there's little dorsal fins on a couple of 5-foot sharks just kind of feeding in the shallows. Now, the thing was, I was an idiot, kind of went swimming near the pier, but that's where the hotel was, near the pier. They had chairs out, the whole thing. I was like, we literally moved down the beach a couple hundred yards, just like, okay, we're going to move down.
Yes.
And then that day, read in the paper the 2 shark attacks, and they, where they weren't attacks, but they were bit a lady's calf. She was like in her 60s. She goes, it was my fault. I was out where I probably shouldn't have been. Blah blah blah. So Amanda, I'm with you on this one. Shark, because I know it's there.
Yes.
I've made the choice to go into the ocean. I know I am now the lowest part of the food chain.
Yes.
Because you can't catch anything. You can't catch anything with bare hands. I mean, and a shark, but like you said, gouge its eyes, whatever. You just
the gills, the eyes.
Whatever.
Sometimes you can just wait it away.
Yeah, but Gator, you don't know. And like you said in the studio, you get a death roll going.
Yeah, what?
Watch out.
What do you do with that? You can't do anything.
You just go.
You just hope for the best.
Yeah, I'm trying to hold my breath, but I have no air because the thing's holding me underwater.
No, thank you.
And then Baby Shark. Okay. Yeah. John Mike put up the Baby Shark song. Yeah. I don't even want to mess with a baby shark, to be honest with you.
No.
And then somebody we mentioned it in between commercial breaks, I think, and someone sent in a hippopotamus.
Yeah, anything but a hippopotamus.
Yeah, those are mean. They're huge.
And they're fast.
Adorable.
Adorable.
Cute as a button in
Yes.
the zoo.
When they're eating that watermelon, when they throw the pumpkin in their mouth.
Look at little hippopotamus.
Yeah,
This is so
it's
cute.
so
This
cute.
is great. Okay, you
No.
find it. Now, the thing is, you'd probably be in Africa somewhere in like one watering hole that services the entire jungle.
Yes.
You've got lions and wildebeest and hyenas. That's bad just to get to the water.
Yeah.
But then you get to the water and it's like, oh, there's a hippo in here.
There's a hippo in there.
Yeah. So, Amanda, I can't thank you enough for joining us, but we've got to do our days. We got to do our days real quick because we're running out of time, and Jordan is not here. So allegedly, I'm on my own for the noon show, which is a little crazy. So, all right, it's the 28th of April. It is 2025, but a lot of figures before that born, and some interesting figures. James Monroe, 1758, born on April 28th, fifth president of the United States. Harper Lee, tremendous author, basically wrote one book, and everybody wants could be the greatest book ever written, To Kill a Mockingbird.
That is a great book.
Harper Lee, 1926 to 2006. I mean, yeah. Jay Leno, comedian, had a pretty nice career for himself, hosted the Tonight Show and a bunch of other things, and has a great car collection, except he keeps burning himself, so he's trying to fix his car. He has little accidents all the time.
Oh, geez.
Mary McDonnell, 1952, actress. She was the actress in Dances with Wolves. The romantic interest of Kevin Costner stands with fists. If you haven't seen Dances with Wolves,
No, I haven't.
make it a point. A little bit of a longer movie, but if you like the West, it's very, very good. Won the Academy Award. So it's really good. Kevin Costner's in it. All right, and then events that have taken place on this day: 1788, Maryland, seventh state to ratify the Constitution. Go Terps!
Oh, Maryland.
Yeah. The Terps, the Mighty Turtles. 1952, Dwight Eisenhower resigns as Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. How do you resign that? I mean, it's a pretty big title. Supreme Allied Commander of NATO. That was after World War II was done. He wanted to run for president. He did, won. Worked out for him.
The rest is history.
Yep. 1967, then Cassius Clay, later Muhammad Ali, drafted into the Army, but refuses to go into the Army. And he was already Muhammad Ali at that point. I apologize, I'm getting my dates wrong. But Muhammad Ali, previously Cassius Clay, he was drafted into the Army, refuses to go, did not want to serve in Vietnam, said, I have nothing against those people. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I'm not going. I'm not going to fight. So he gave up his championship boxing license for about 3 years. It was revoked. Then the Supreme Court ruled on his side. That he didn't have to. Huge case.
Wow.
And many people that are still very, very angry about that. But he took a stance on his beliefs, believed they were correct, and the Supreme Court eventually would side with him.
Yeah, good for him.
But still, a lot of people not happy about that. But he became the greatest, and he would let everybody know about it. He liked to talk a little bit. So that happened in 1967. All right, John Michael, happy birthday. Carolyn Jones of the Addams Family, played Morticia of the Addams Family. It was her birthday today as well. I believe she die in 87? I'm not sure. But Morticia. And then which Elvis film did Jones co-star in? John Michael, you're on your own on that one. I have no idea. I am not a Elvis film buff. I'm not.
My nan would know. She loved Elvis.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll need some help on that one. Okay. Other days, Global Pay It Forward Day.
Nice.
So I always look at, a lot of people, they'll buy somebody coffee that's in line, be King Creole. We were talking about, I'm assuming that would be New Orleans. So we were talking about Gators in New Orleans. So there you go. Tying it all in, John Michael. Global Pay It Forward. I always look at Pay It Forward Day as people that helped me, my Little League coach, my people that have had big impacts on me. And then now if I can help somebody in this business because people helped me out when I first got started and things like that. So it's National Pay It Forward Day. But a way to maybe help some people is, positive text, buy them some coffee, maybe somebody in the line behind you. Hey, I'll pick up their, stuff
Your
behind
tab.
you.
Yep.
And you're praying and hoping, I hope it's not like $100 that they ordered. But so that's one way to do it. National Superhero Day. I thought this was interesting. I thought it was going to be basically Batman, Robin, all that stuff, Superman. Well, it's also real and fictional. So you have your superheroes for the kids that they love, but then they talked about superhero in terms of like firefighters, police, that type of situation. Jamie Ely is the Elvis fan. Absolutely big Elvis fan, Jamie Ely. Let's see. Bravehearts Day honors families in the fight with childhood cancer. So you have that. And then Great Poetry Reading Day. So Olivia Zinn, we found out, was big into poetry.
Yeah.
She liked to do that today. Shakespeare, Edgar Allan Poe, all that stuff. But perhaps the biggest part of the day today. Do you like blueberries?
I don't.
Okay.
I
All right,
know.
enough for that. National Day for Blueberries is out. Well, actually, if you like blueberry pie, Amanda's face tells me, no, I don't like blueberry. But blueberry pie, it's National Blueberry Pie Day. Blueberry pie it's in blueberry season right now. 1872, first known recipe in the Appledore Cookbook. Maine, the official dessert of Maine, blueberry pie.
I did know that.
Because Maine has huge blueberry
Yes.
reserves and all those things. So apparently blueberry is good for your blood pressure, blood sugar, reduces depression, signs of depression. So blueberries are really good. It's a superfood, basically.
Yes.
So anyway, so those are some of the days. Amanda, okay. John Michael says she's not getting out of here without me finding out what kind of pie is her favorite kind of pie. Or do you like pies as a dessert as a rule?
I don't like pie.
You don't like cake either, do you?
I love cake.
Oh, you love cake.
Give me a good chocolate cake.
Oh, wait a minute. It's my daughter, Isabella. She's like, I don't really like cakes and pies. I don't really care.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what kind of cake?
Hand in hand. Chocolate.
Chocolate cake.
Chocolate layered fudge.
Chocolate
all
cake,
of the
chocolate
things.
frosting.
Yes, all of the things. All
Big
the
glass.
chocolate.
You like cold milk with it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Now you're talking my language.
Yes.
I don't know why I love milk.
It's so good.
Yeah, with a piece of cake or something or cookies.
Do you put ice cubes in your milk?
I do actually.
I put ice cubes in my milk.
I do.
People go, you put ice cubes in your milk?
I put ice cubes in my beer if it's like I just like it cold.
Yes.
I want it as cold as it can be.
Cold.
So yeah, all right.
I
like where your head's at on that. All right. So anyways, if you want to if you don't want to do blueberry pie today, you do chocolate cake with Amanda and put some ice cubes in your milk. And people think it's crazy, but it's like
people think it's so weird.
You have it for if you put a Coca-Cola or Pepsi, put ice cubes in there.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna drink this all in one sitting. It's gonna take me a couple. I want it to be cold. They say it waters it down, but I'm like, no, it just stays cold.
I think the first person I saw do that, and I could be wrong on this, but Rod Woodson, who played for the Steelers. I was fortunate enough to get invited to his birthday party.
Oh.
My wife at the time actually knew his wife or what so. He ordered cake and everybody was like, well, and then can I get a glass of milk? And they were like, glass of milk. And I think you've had him put ice in it.
Yep.
So,
you do you, people.
Yeah. So do your thing. But yeah. All right. So chocolate cake for Amanda.
Yes.
I'll do a piece of blueberry pie with a little of vanilla on it.
Nice.
And then some milk as well. So
perfect.
There you go. Well, hopefully everybody enjoys their blueberry pie day. And believe it or not, I got to figure this out. I got to get myself under control. I've already gone basically a half hour.
That's okay. It's all right. It's a Monday.
It's a traditional 9-minute Phill-Up where it never goes 9 minutes. Never goes 9 minutes. All right, everybody. Amanda Berry, thank you so much.
Yes,
Look for her on the midday show with all of your weather information, a meteorologist extraordinaire. So we'll do that. Valley Converting, thank you for everything that you do for the 9-minute Phill-Up. And thank you to everybody that checked in on our Shark or Gator Day. It looks like Sharks win over the Gators.
Yeah.
What were your numbers? You were getting some numbers on Facebook.
When I last looked, Gators were winning.
Oh, really?
And I was shocked. I was shocked. But it's not loading.
Okay. Well, we'll just go with Gators. All right. It's Sharks for us in here. Sharks for the comments, but Gators might be winning.
But Gators overall, I don't know why people say Gators. We're going to need to know why.
Interesting. We'll have to ask Jordan tomorrow when she's back at work.
Yes.
Producer extraordinaire Jordan will say, "Hey, Jordan, what's up with the Sharks or the Gators?"
Sharks and the Gators.
I think she'd go. Well, I don't know.
Now here we are. 18 votes for Gators. 17 votes for sharks.
So we're
it's
neck
close.
and neck.
We're neck and neck.
We're neck and neck. Yeah. I can see that. I can see that. But yeah, because people don't like sharks. You think of shark, you're like, ooh, no. But man, yeah, at least I know the sharks are there.
Yes.
Gators, you don't know?
You just don't know.
All right. On that note, remember 2 rules: have fun and always try to do your best, everybody. Have a great day. We will see you next.